Well, welcome back, everyone. We are live here for Robert Morris Men's Lacrosse in this 2022 campaign, set to get underway. Garo Von Dane with you live here at Joe Walton Stadium on the campus of Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh. And boy, it's been a long wait, but we're ready to get back into action as the Bucknell Bison are in town to face Robert Morris as the Colonials begin a bit of a new era, members of a new conference under a new head coach and coaching staff. So a time of change here for Robert Morris, and excited to see what this season will bring. Robert Morris starting the season 0-1. They started their second consecutive year against the Duke Blue Devils, and the third-ranked Blue Devils took out Robert Morris by a final score of 21-20. Day against Bucknell. Mercer 16-14 last Saturday. So it should be a good matchup. It was a close one last year when these two teams met. Robert Morris up in Lewisburg, PA, had a nice lead. Bucknell fought back, but the Colonials final score of 8-7 a year ago. Robert Morris, well, with the switch in conference affiliation, were associate Atlantic Sun. The Atlantic Sun is this year. So Robert Morris played those teams a year ago, but it wasn't officially a lacrosse conference yet. This year it is. Home games last year, so they are happy to be the Joe for a full season of home and away. Again, members of the Atlantic Sun League. And RMU, in addition to Robert Morris, it's kind of a weird geographic league. So you got Robert Morris, Cleveland State. I'm going by proximity here. Bellarmine, Detroit Mercy, and then you go out west to Colorado Springs for the Air Force Academy, and then further west to Salt Lake City, the University of Utah. So that is what the Atlantic Sun looks like in men's lacrosse, and Robert Morris this year picked the third in the preseason coaches poll behind Air Force and Utah, who were picked with an even number of points to win the conference, in RMU at third. But we know what those things mean, not a whole lot. In RMU, a new look, and again, new coaching staff this year, led by Fred Federjaka, is Bucknell, and Robert Morris is led by their brand new head coach in this new era for RMU men's lacrosse. Craig McDonald will be the third head coach all time in this program's history. This is the beginning of year number 18, and set to go here from the Joe. And Robert Morris will go left to right across your screen. And the opening draw won by the Colonials. Colonials in white and the Bucknell Bison in dark blue. And the ball is fought for, and the Colonials will pick it back up again, and here they go. And it's taken away. Bucknell rips one away from RMU. And so an empty possession to start this game after a one face-off. And Bucknell will start their possession. It'll be Harry Welford swinging it out to the right side. The Bison again 1-0 after defeating Mercer. Connor Davis with 6 goals in that victory. Big day for Connor. Bucknell sets up their offense here in the Colonial zone. 2 hours left here at Joe Walton Stadium. We'll swing it behind the net, look for a gap in front. There comes the shot, and the save made. Letting that one go was Terry Alston. But a good save in net. It'll go behind the cage. Getting the start is Nate Randall, the Beverly Hills, Michigan native. A freshman for RMU. There's the bounce shot, and he makes another save. A good start for Randall. Back to work go the Bison. with a new shot clock. They'll swing it behind and now stepping back in front, looking for someone to give it to in front. The Colonials took it away. It was Terry Alston again playing it behind the cage and looking for help in front, but the Colonials had it well covered. So a couple of saves for Nate Randall out of Brother Rice. And the freshman keeps it a scoreless game. Here comes a shot the other way and it goes wide. And just outside the hash for RMU was Dan Taddeo, the senior from Penfield, New York. Just underway here in Pittsburgh, 12:40 to go, first quarter. The RMU women's team coming off an undefeated conference season a year ago in a MAC championship are opening their season at Ohio State this afternoon, a 3:30 start in that one. They were just dominant in their first season in the MAC a year ago. That shot is bounced wide by Will Johansson, the senior from Victoria, BC. Colonials was forced outside, and they'll bring it up top again. High, it's Taggart Clark, number 41, gets it underneath, and that shot looking for that high right corner, but missing was Corson Keeley. Corson Keeley, man to watch out for. And a hat trick against Duke in the opener game. Corson Keeley wears number 23, if you're wondering. You know, white jersey. No score still. Just about 4 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Bucknell back on the attack. We'll go near side. Now he goes back up top again. Colonials done a good job defensively. Oh, and what? 11 yards out. A snapper from. And Bucknell takes a 1-0 lead. And boy, I don't think anybody on the field knew that shot was from that location. 1-0 Bucknell as they get on the board with first quarter. I think that was Cam Doolin, but we'll wait for the official scoring on it. And wide and out of bounds, and so leading 1-0. It'll be a deep pass down into Robert Morris territory along the goal line. Doolin has it on the near sideline. Both teams with a pretty deep bench here today. Bucknell again out of the Patriot League, RMU. Now in the Atlantic Sun. A lot of different conferences for Robert Morris University athletics now to keep track of after leaving the NEC. Shot and another save. Man, what a start for the freshman goaltender Nate Randall. We'll go up high again to Doolin, number 6. Incredible shot and score, and Bucknell has a 2-0 lead. They are scoring from deep. And a 2-0 lead for the Bison here on the road. And Bucknell getting the start they wanted. And now Robert Morris will try to win an important draw early in this game. Two unassisted goals now for Bucknell. Cam Doolin getting that one, the freshman from Westminster, Maryland, and what a shot he has. RMU goes on the attack and will try to get on the board here, trailing by 2 at home. Garo Von Dane live here in Pittsburgh. Snow flurries. It was warm and sunny yesterday. Weather coming from the west. Up high in the twisting, turning shot, and a save made. Good stop and in good position was the goaltender Max Nolan for Bucknell out of Saddle River, New Jersey. I believe that's his first save. RMU having short offensive possessions. They've come up empty so far. A couple of turnovers. A missed shot that nobody had backed up. And now a save by the goaltender Nolan, and Bucknell back on the attack, leading by 2. Wow, and another shot, and they're beating him up high. Are the Bison. Connor Davis, the freshman from Bethesda, Maryland, who had 6 goals in the opener, gets his first of the game. And all 3 goals coming from at least 10 yards out. And all 3 are beating the young goaltender high. Nate Randall, who has at least 4 saves in the game, but they're beating him top shelf. And now Robert Morris, after another face-off win and taking it straight to the goal and scoring, is Bo Columbus. And RMU has their first goal of the home season. And they needed that one. Boy, oh boy. Number 12, Bo Columbus, the sophomore from Fergus, Ontario, gets the Colonials on the board after a big face-off win. Comes at 7:44 to go, so that's a big goal just 8 seconds after Bucknell taking a 3-0 lead. RMU needed that one. Face off in midfield and a good scoop as RMU will regain possession again. Jake Boudreau finding that loose ball. An unassisted goal. 3 of the 4 goals so far in the game have been unassisted. Bucknell leading 3-1, 7:15 to go first quarter. On a chilly day in Pittsburgh. As we get the home lacrosse season underway. RMU won back-to-back NEC conference tournaments before departing that conference before last season. Hard shot bounced wide. Shot coming from way up top by Trevor Barrett. RMU with possession, and behind the net with it is Corson Keeley, number 23. And he spins out in front, works against the defender. Keeley trying to muscle his way in, now backs out, pass given up, top fake shot. Then the shot comes and it's blocked. Boy, what a block by Richie Striano for Bucknell. And a Bison take over. Bucknell going D-to-D in their own zone, and now we'll get it across midfield. RMU a slow start against Duke, had to spend most of that game trying to fight back against the third-ranked Blue Devils. And they don't want to fall far behind in this one either. Nice check applied by Jake Boudreau. Bucknell maintains possession. Oh, and a good interception. Stepping in front of that pass was Evan Helmich. defenseman from Pickerington, Ontario, and the Colonials will bring it upfield. Here they come. Johnny Chason gives it up. RMU, and the whistle blows as Boudreau was trying to bring it in, and it's turned over to Bucknell. Colonials have just had too many empty offensive possessions so far, and that is what has to be irking the coaching staff so far. And a shot gets in again, and Bucknell with a 4-1 lead now. And right after Colonials came up empty on another offensive possession, and Bucknell is making the most of their opportunities. And they take a 4-1 lead. And we haven't seen RMU trail like this at home in a long time. Still early, though. A lot of lacrosse left to play today. That goal comes with 4:59 to go in the first quarter. And Bucknell has jumped out on top. Even on possessions when they haven't scored goals, Bucknell, they've forced the Colonials to make saves. And a soft shot, that one perhaps fooling the goaltender Randall, because there wasn't a lot on it, floated into the top corner. And Bucknell strikes again. They are off and running with a 5-1 lead. And my goodness, Bucknell all over the Colonials right now. That goal comes just 12 seconds after the previous one. And we're going to get a timeout. Robert Morris wants to talk it over. Another unassisted goal. Nick Cravato gets that one. And RMU with a tough start here, trailing 5-1, and we are only in the first quarter. Robert Morris under new head coach Craig McDonald. He is, again, there you get a look at Craig. Coming over from UMass. He was the associate head coach there. Played his collegiate lacrosse at Albany, where he was a defenseman from 2005 to 2008. And he takes over for the departed Drew McMinn, who leaves for conference rival Utah to take over that brand new Division I program. And the Colonials will be seeing the Utes on the schedule this year and every year as members of the A-Sun. Drew McMinn, sensational career here. He followed Bear Davis. And they really had taken over the top spot in the NEC in the last few years, seizing it away from schools like Bryant and Hobart. Before the university left the NEC. The women again are playing in the MAC now. The men are in the Atlantic Sun. The majority of Robert Morris athletics now in the Horizon League. And also some good news here that has developed. It was a rough offseason for hockey fans here at Robert Morris, because back in May, both hockey programs were shut down abruptly and shockingly. I mean, nobody saw it coming, but a lot of grassroots efforts took place to raise money and awareness, and lo and behold, both programs will be resurrected, have been resurrected, and will return to Division I play in the fall of 2023. Great news for not only Robert Morris hockey fans, but hockey fans in Greater Pittsburgh. That was the only Division I. Those are the only Division I hockey programs in the area. Colonials bring it in, the shoot, a save made again. And Robert Morris just one goal on the day. That was Jake Boudreau letting that one go. So the Colonials out of the timeout, and let's see what they are able to do now, trailing 5-1 here in the first quarter. Men's lacrosse action from Joe Walton Stadium at Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh. Let's hope we can get a complete season in this year under these weird times we're in. Well, he'll send it up top now, near side, looking for a gap underneath, trying to muscle his way in. And it's turned over. Just trying to muscle his way in was Corson Keeley. And Bucknell awarded possession. We were here doing lacrosse when everything sort of went down with the COVID stoppages. The Robert Morris forces a turnover at midfield. It happened so quickly. Doing a lacrosse game, talking about this weird new thing, and before we made it to the following week's game, everything was canceled. Yeah, Colonials get it underneath and they score. There's a flag in the air, but the goal will count, and RMU back on the board. It is a 5-2 game, and the Colonials needed that one. Can't fall behind by more than 4 against this Bucknell team. And the Colonials will start their fight back. Comes with 2:59 to go here in the first quarter. Let's see if he can start to shift the tides a little bit now. Colonials have been winning faceoffs, just haven't been able to do much with their possessions. And now we're going to get a timeout on the Bucknell side. Taggart Clark makes it a 5-2 game. Good to see Taggart get on the board. Number 41, the senior from Ontario. And now a 5-2 game. Garo Von Dane with you live here at Joe Walton Stadium. Colonials began the day 0-1 with that loss to third-ranked Duke. Bucknell 1-0 after a win against Mercer, 16-14 last Saturday. This RMU team has lost a lot of scoring to graduation a year ago, but we're looking to replace some of that. 9 new freshmen on the roster. 3 of the new guys from Michigan. 4 are from north of the border. RMU a season ago averaged about 13 goals a game. Right now out to just 2 so far here in the first quarter. Had a slow start against Duke. A lot of teams have slow starts against Duke. RMU did fight back, but just were in too deep of a hole to come back in that one. Remember Adrian Tarak-Urban? Well, he's now an assistant on this Robert Morris staff after a great career. It was awful fun to watch for Robert Morris. When he was losing Ryan Smith, what a career he had. Man, talk about a shot. Ryan Smith with a cannon. But guys like Jake Boudreau, Corson Keeley are back for RMU. Colonials win another face-off, and here they come. Slide it inside, and they score again. Back-to-back goals. It's Corson Keeley, number 23, from a tough angle, and it makes it 5-3. Keeley's first of the game. In just 7 seconds, Robert Morris has scored twice. And now a 2-goal game as the RMU bench and crowd comes to life. .252 to go first quarter. Good hard battle for it at midfield. And the faceoff then skips past everybody, and Bucknell is going to find it and scoop it up. Bison. Will set up their offense once again. Harry Welford. Bucknell being held off the board for a few minutes. Colonials look to make another stop. They so far have been scoring from outside and up high. And that one comes from way outside, not as high this time. Rib height, but another goal for Bucknell from far outside. That's 15 yards out. The Bison picking up another one from Cam Doolin. He has been impressive today. Bison get one back and extend that lead to 6-3 once again. Well, 3 goals in the last minute. 2 for RMU, now 1 for Bucknell. And a hard fight for that draw, and Bucknell will come away with it. Ending up with a loose ball was Striano. And the Bison will look to even their biggest lead of the game. That shot was headed, looked like it was headed off the mark, but it was blocked up top. And RMU trying to fight for that loose ball, but the Bison will scoop it up. And Bucknell will control as Welford has it. Number 2. Tried to go through a lot of traffic and RMU broke it up. Colonials break up the play and here they come. RMU down 3. Pass near side, too high, but picked back up again. Helmich keeps it alive and then retreats. RMU looking to score quickly here. Oh, they try to go near side back door. Off the mark, but the Colonials maintain possession. Alston underneath. Oh, and the shot goes wide. Good pass, scoop shot from Taggart. Clark goes wide, but it stays with RMU. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. RMU will send it up top. Would love to get it back to within 2 before the end of the quarter. 20 seconds. Top spin move, near side, Keeley's shot, and getting a piece of it there was the goaltender for Bucknell, Max Nolan, and it goes high. The horn went off, but I think there's still time left. I think they're saying 4 seconds. Robert Morris will have the ball from behind the goal. And they're going to put, looks like 5 seconds on the clock, and here we go. RMU with one last gasp before the end of the quarter, and the ball is stolen away, and time will run out here in the first quarter. So, after 15 minutes of play, the visiting Bucknell Bison have taken a 6-3 lead over the Colonials. We got a good one brewing here at the Joe. Right back on the Colonials Lacrosse Network. Garrow Von Dane here at Joe Walton Stadium on the campus of Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh. And after 1 quarter of play, the visiting Bucknell Bison have a 6-3 lead over the Robert Morris Colonials. Home opener of the 2022 season. And Bucknell will control after the faceoff here in quarter number 2, and they lead at 6-3. Bucknell scored the first 3 goals of the game, and Robert Morris has been trying to fight back ever since. Colonials going with the freshman in goal. Oh, and Bucknell is going to turn this one back over to Robert Morris. Colonial started Liam Rosenthal in goal against Duke. And then Nate Randall came in the 4th quarter to get some time. And now he gets the start today. Teams switch sides. RMU in white going right to left. Freshly onto the field, Liam Keene, number 34. Underneath and a twist move, and it gets in. Boy, how about that attack move to get the goal, and Robert Morris back to within 2. Taggart Clark with the aggressive move on the inside. Picks up another one for RMU. As you get another look. Colonials pick up the first goal of the 2nd quarter. See some of those snow flurries. And RMU wins another faceoff. And a wide open look, and he takes advantage of it. Elliott Holden makes it 6-5. Holden was up top 15 yards out. Looked around and said, well, if no one's going to pick me up, I'll take the opportunity. And number 31 buries it up top. And the Colonials back to within 1. That was a beautiful shot from Holden. From nearby Cranberry Township. Played at Seneca Valley High School. Cranberry in the North Hills of Pittsburgh. And right back the other way, Bucknell gets another one. The Colonials cut it to 1, but seconds later, Connor Davis makes it 7-5. This Bucknell team has shown scoring power here today, that is for sure. Staying a step in front of the Colonials. And another face-off win for RMU, and this time taking it all the way in and missing on the shot is Bo Columbus. But RMU maintains possession. Colonials have scored 4 of the last 6 in this game, but still trail by 2. And now Holden has it again. He's bumped, keeps going. Holden picks up a couple of defenders, and Colonials have to turn it over. And so the Bison back on the attack with a 2-goal lead. We want to reach up, attempt at an interception. Can RMU come away with this loose ball? And they will. Oh, a nice play from Ben Starkey at midfield. Got just enough of it to break it up. And now RMU underneath a little room. The shot, though, was pulled away from behind on a nice defensive play underneath. Keeley was inside, but when he pulled his stick back to take the shot, it was poke checked away. Bucknell will get it across midfield. With possession is Harry Welford. Each team with a couple of timeouts left. Each team has used one. Tough angle shot, misses this time from Dutch Furlong. It's been a decade since Bucknell played here. The fourth all-time meeting between these two. The only other meeting here in Pittsburgh was won by Robert Morris. Walking out from behind the net, shooting high and scoring is Terry Alston. And Bucknell is back up by 3. And what we're seeing here today on both sides is a lot of unassisted goals, a lot of individual plays, and some great shots. And Bucknell with a few more of those than RMU. Alston makes it 8-5. And this time Bucknell wins the face-off. Well, now another trouble spot for RMU as they're in danger of slipping behind by 4. Their biggest deficit of the game was 5-1 when Nick Cravato scored the 5th for Bucknell in the first quarter. Got it to within 1, but now trail by 3, and Bucknell, ooh, the backhanded shot goes wide from Barkauskas. Stays with the Bison. Oh, and that time he gets the low scoop shot, does Barkauskas. He was on. No, it's no good. Not going to count. And RMU takes over. Thought they had regained that 4-goal lead, but instead it's Robert Morris ball. 10 minutes to go, second quarter. And now the Colonials will set up their offense. And they look to score quickly. And that shot goes wide from Will Johansson, but stays with Robert Morris. A flag on the field. Robert Morris ball. And Alston is in the box for Bucknell. So the Colonials with a man-up opportunity here, trailing by 3 and 9:49 to go in the quarter. And here go the Colonials. Their first man-up opportunity. Tight circle, wind it up top. Good scoop by Johansson to keep it alive. Now near side, and that shot goes well wide out of the stick of Dan Tadeo. Stays with RMU. Man up opportunity. Got to convert here, trailing by 3. And now Bucknell back to their full complement. RMU still with possession. Bullet right side, and now backing his way out is Johansson. Finds a man, right wing. And the turning shot from Keeley goes wide. Tough angle spin shot. Robert Morris still has it. But the shot clock was expiring. So that's it for RMU's possession. And Bucknell will take over with 8:44 to go in the quarter. And a 3-goal lead. And now some whistles. And Bucknell will put it in play deep in their own end. Bison start deep and put it in play. Again, the women will be in action this afternoon on the road in Columbus in their season opener against the Ohio State Buckeyes. And they will be replacing, or trying to replace, a lot of scoring. Will the women's team, losing their all-time leading scorer in program history, and also losing arguably the best goaltender they've ever had as a program, but maintain that tremendous coaching staff led by Katrina Silva in her 5th season as the head coach. She's been there a lot longer too as an assistant before. And they look to be the class of the MAC again this year and are picked that way. Good save that time by Nate Randall. Freshman's getting battle tested here today. Comes up big that time. Bucknell still with the ball though. Plenty of time on the shot clock, still 36. Good pass underneath and no chance. All alone, uncovered Terry Alston on the near side of the cage, and he had time to have a sandwich before he let that one go, and he gave Randall no chance. And Bucknell equals their biggest lead of the game. It's 9-5. Back-to-back goals for Alston. Alston with 2 in the game. Cam Doolin leads all scorers with 3. He had a hat trick in the first quarter. Hard battle for the loose ball after the face-off, and it bounces near side and trying to play it. He didn't realize the ball was coming towards him as he headed to the sideline. Tried to play it, did Tadeo, but it bounced off his stick out of bounds, and it's Bucknell ball. And Bucknell feeling it right now. They're fired up with a 4-goal lead and looking to make it 5 here. Gotta believe RMU will take a timeout if Bucknell scores here, but there's a good save again by Randall. Randall, despite giving up 9 in the game, has made a pile of saves. This game could be a lot worse. I mean, it's a 4-goal game. RMU's still very much in it, but dancing with trouble here with this deficit in the first half. The way this Bucknell team can score, it is not going to be easy to shut them down and mount a big comeback. So you don't want it to fall behind by any more than 4. RMU will try to get it to within 3 here. Starkey now back outside. Tadeo now over to the right side. RMU still with 20 to shoot. Tried to pass it through a lot of traffic and intercepted, did Starkey. And Bucknell took it away. Great feet underneath, but a better save by Randall. They had Alston on a great pass down the seam. He was alone in front of the net. And the score on the other end. Wow, what a sequence. As James Leary gets the Colonials back on the board, 9-6 right after the huge save from Randall. As we get another look at it. There's the shot. And it didn't look like he expected that shot. And James Leary for RMU, the junior from New Fairfield, Connecticut. I know Fairfield, Connecticut. Is New Fairfield part of Fairfield? At any rate, it's 9-6 now as the Colonials get it back to within 3. Bucknell will take that loose ball and head the other way with it. They better put a body on him, and they don't. And he scores from up top, and Bucknell right back on the other end. As Danny Striano gets Bucknell to double digits here in the first half. Boy, every time you think Robert Morris is about to make a move, that they've shifted the tides a little bit, Bucknell has an answer. They lead it 10-6 with 4:41 to go in the second quarter. The ball still rolling to the near sideline, and Bucknell will take it 25 yards away from the faceoff circle. A quick shot from a tough angle near side. Striano got in tight and missed over the crossbar. Bucknell has it. Boy, and another opportunity for Bucknell inside, and again Randall with a big save. He has made some tough saves in this game as Randall. And the pass is too high for the intended target, and that is a turnover to Bucknell. Tried to get it to Corson Keeley. He's 5'11" and needed a couple more inches to haul that one in. And instead, it's Bucknell ball. Well, you're looking at a situation here with 3.5 to go in the first half, and it's turned over to RMU. Big stop. Colonials down 4, and obviously want to cut this lead. Would love to get it down to 2 if possible before the half. It's a much different looking game at 2 than 4 more. And there's the shot from a top center, and it gets in, and RMU back on the board as Blake Laurie makes it 10-7. Blake Laurie from Hudson, Ohio has RMU back on the board. As the teams continue to trade goals here in the second quarter. Comes with 3:04 left in the period. The last 4 goals of this game have been alternating. Can the Colonials get 2 in a row? Well, they get it down to 3 and still 3:04 to go. And it's RMU ball. Off the push on the faceoff. And the Colonials will control, and they'll start with Ben Starkey. Number 9 for RMU. Garo Von Dane here in Pittsburgh. A cloudy, cold, snow flurry day in mid-February. We've had some real snowy starts to seasons here We have had some snow lately, but it's all been pushed to the ends of the end zone. And still see those piles over there. Meanwhile, yesterday it was warm and sunny. The shot was blocked up high. Out of the stick of Ben Starkey, he's able to scoop it up. He'll put it in play with just over 2 minutes to go in the half. Carrying it, a long possession here for RMU. A little handoff up high, and it's dropped but picked up again by McShay. Colonials get it behind the net, taking his eye off the ball and unable to pull it in was Stephen Delaminache, the sophomore from Mantua, New Jersey. Just took his eye off it behind the net. Bucknell ball with 1:26 and counting. RMU defending. Would love and need to get a stop here late in the half. Oh, the pass behind the net is wide of the target. It's going to go out of bounds. Alston was behind the cage alone, but the pass missed him. And now RMU, with 52 seconds left, has a chance. I mean, if you can get this to 2, and I got a timeout on the field here with 43 seconds to go in the half. We'll keep it right here. If RMU, if you're RMU and you're able to get this to 2 at the half, you've got to be thanking your lucky stars at this point. Bucknell has had a whale of a first half. At RMU, a lot of empty possessions and turnovers, and can look around and say, hey, this is a close game. We didn't play our best in the first half. Let's turn things around in the second half. But a big stop there, because it all but prevents Bucknell from getting a 4-goal lead, as long as Robert Morris has a patient possession here to close out the half. 3 is not the end of the world going into halftime. And you got a chance here to cut it to 2. So Craig McDonald will try and rally his troops here at the end of the half. Fred Federjaka for Bucknell in his 16th season with the Bison. And Craig coming over from UMass. He was there for 7 years with the Minutemen, where he started as an assistant coach before being promoted to the associate head coach in 2018. Also worked as the defensive coordinator and worked a lot with goaltenders. Before UMass, Craig was an assistant at Rutgers, also Siena and Union College. And now his first head coaching job at the Division I level here with Robert Morris. .43 to go in the half. Robert Morris with the ball and down 3. And RMU will put it in play in the Bison zone. 36 seconds to go. They'll send it up top. Taggart Clark swings right side. Clark will get it back, number 41. Royals are going to be patient here and wind this clock down to the half and get a shot late. Now a little more urgency. Inside, Clark tried to pass it and it was intercepted. And the Bison the other way. 13 seconds to go. And we'll see if Bucknell can get a late shot. 8 seconds left as they bring it in. Pass handcuffs the midfielder and he loses the ball. Colonials will get it, but time's about to run out. And it will go out of bounds as the horn sounds. So empty possession here at the end of the first half. And Bucknell with a big-time first half, but RMU cuts it to a 3-goal game. So after 30 minutes of play here at Joe Walton Stadium at Robert Morris University, it's the Bucknell Bison 10, Robert Morris 7. Halftime straight ahead. We'll be back with the third quarter in just a bit. It's the Colonials Lacrosse Network. Back here at Robert Morris University, second half action. Colonials and Bison, and a quick shot by RMU to open up the half, and a save made as Bucknell keeps it a 3-goal game. It is 10-7 Bison to start the second half. And it's been a pretty action-packed game here so far, the home opener at Robert Morris. Colonials are 0-1 on the season, falling on the road to Duke last week. And the Bison are 1-0 after a close win over Mercer last Saturday. Bucknell has led throughout. They took a 3-0 lead in the first. RMU has gotten as close as 1, but trail it here 10-7 to start the second half. Garrow Von Dane here live on a cold day in Pittsburgh after a warm day yesterday. And RMU off the turnover will carry it in. Drop pass back as the Colonials get it set up for their second possession of the half. We'll hold it up high. And now near side. Oh, they find a man underneath, and the quick shot gets in. Oh, what a good release from Taggart Clark off the pass from Jake Boudreau. And it's 10-8. The Colonials back to within 2. That one worked to perfection. Here's another look. Look at that pass from Boudreau to the back door. And Clark does the rest. Comes with 13:55 to go in the third quarter. And Taggart Clark has the hat trick here today. 1 goal in each quarter so far, but the Bison answer back on the other end. Boy, they have had an answer for everything today. And Bucknell just one step ahead all afternoon. Pass near side and a wide open look and the finish, and Bucknell has been on target here today with their shots too. They've been very impressive shooting the ball. Connor Davis gets that one for the Bison. Comes just 12 seconds after the Taggart Clark goal for RMU. And Davis has the hat trick today, had 6 in the opener for Bucknell, and RMU takes possession on the near sideline. Good catching up here in the press box at halftime off the air with Associate Athletic Director Marty Galosi. Been here a long time at RMU. Hired me back in 2004. One of the good guys in all of sports, Marty Galosi. And Adam Gusky, he's your public address voice. Adam been here a good long time too. RMU still with possession here. 24 on the shot clock, trailing by 3. Wide side, and the shot goes over the left shoulder of the goaltender. And RMU with a pretty goal that time from Jake Boudreau. Boudreau on fire here in the second half, setting up the previous goal. And look at the shot here from Jake. Zap into the top left corner. Jake Boudreau with 12:23 to go in the third quarter. Makes it an 11-9 game. Robert Morris now has scored 3 of the last 4 in this game. Unassisted goal for Boudreau. And RMU with the ball after the faceoff. Boy, without winning the face-off battle today, it'd be hard to say where RMU would be right now. Between that and a whole lot of saves for freshman goaltender Nate Randall. Because Bucknell does not waste a lot of possessions. They put shots on net. Bucknell with the ball now. Great to have you with us live from Pittsburgh, wherever you're tuning in from. That shot comes in tight but well wide. Out of the stick of Cam Doolin, who's had a big day. Although Doolin's been quiet since the first quarter. He had 3 in the first 15 minutes. Passes high. Bucknell misfiring on some of these passes on this possession, but it hasn't cost him yet. And that time they throw high on the pass. And this time Robert Morris will take over. The pass too sharp and high for Cam Doolin on the wing. RMU inside. Oh, the shot hits the post. Corson Keeley let it go quick. Robert Morris looking to score quickly in transition here all day. And Keeley hits the post to the left of goaltender Max Nolan. And another chance inside. And a tumbling shot is blocked. Never got to the cage. And Bucknell scoops up the rebound. Dropped ball, but picked up again by Striano. Oh, and a big time check, but a score, and flags are in the air. 3 flags go into the air. And play continues. It was not a goal, apparently, because play continues, so a lot of confusion. Everybody stopped. Jack Fada was crushed on a hit by Ben Starkey. As you see the aftermath of it there, slow to get up. 3 flags went in the air. We thought there was a goal on the play, and everybody stopped playing. And then suddenly, they started playing again. Or 32 actually is the guilty party on the hit. Well, Josh Schreibeis. Unnecessary roughness, the call. And he was the one who delivered that hit. Read the number wrong. And Bucknell up a man. And up by 2 on the scoreboard with 10-11 to go. Third quarter. Robert Morris's next game will be on the road at Stony Brook next Saturday. Shot and a save made. Randall stopping Harry Welford. Welford's been held off the scoreboard. Another quick shot, and this time that was a head fake shot. And again, Randall with the save. Save total climbing for Randall. We'll have every game for you here on YouTube this season, every home game. And some of the games will be on ESPN Plus. Also on campus, RMU softball getting underway. They won't be here at home for a little while. Members of the Horizon League. Shot whistled wide from Keeley. Men's and women's basketball still in full swing here at RMU. No hockey this year, which has been really strange, but coming back in 2023, both on the men's and women's side. In tight, they find a man open, and he finishes. And Colton Ledstone gets to the Colonials back within one. They haven't been this close in quite a while. It's 11-10. And the first one for Colton Ledstone, the senior out of Victoria, BC. Good ball movement there for RMU on an assisted goal. RMU gets possession. Columbus. And it's picked up near side. RMU keeps it. Keeley, Boudreau. Boudreau's shot. And he rushed that shot. And a save made by Nolan. Colonials had the ball with a chance to tie. And now Bucknell will look for regain a little breathing room. Non-conference game here between the Patriot League Bison and the Atlantic Sun members, Robert Morris. And a shot and a save made by Randall. Nate Randall from Beverly Hills, Michigan, getting his first collegiate start after coming in the fourth quarter against Duke. Crowd getting into it here in Pittsburgh. Good crowd here. A lot of Robert Morris fans. Saw a lot of Bucknell families tailgating before the game in the parking lot, and that shot is wide, and it's Robert Morris ball. RMU again will have a chance to tie. They have not been even in this game since it was 0-0. Have fought all the way back, and now just one away from starting fresh. Ben Starkey up high. Now Taggart Clark, number 41, goes back to Starkey as RMU sets up their offense. Well, back and forth they go up high. Starkey to the wing. Keeley, number 23, takes a few hits, keeps going, muscles his way in, looking for some room. He tried to shoot between a few defenders. It'll deflect wide and stay with RMU, and Keeley will go get it in the end zone. In front, wide open, and a save made. What a save, my goodness, all alone. A great find, and Clark had such a good look, but Nolan somehow gets stick on it and keeps it out of the goal. Robert Morris an inch from tying the game, but they get the ball back. RMU a lot more time in the offensive zone here in this quarter than we've seen in this game. Clark behind the net. And now he'll trade spots. Starkey. Well, Boudreau tries to go in front. It does, and the top shelf shot, and this time Clark does not miss. Taggart Clark ties the game for Robert Morris. They've come all the way back, And with 4:42 to go in the third, we've got an 11-11 game. Now, RMU has outscored Bucknell in the second half 4-1. And overall have scored 5 of the last 6 goals in this game. And Bucknell has got to be thinking, how did this happen? And controlling the game throughout. And RMU, though, here in the second half has battled back. And Robert Morris with the ball now in a tie game. Long way to go, so settle in, folks. Back and forth up top, they swing it. Well, Boudreau fights off a couple of hits and will back out in the corner. Give it to Keeley. The combination will be doing a lot this year, 22 and 23. The veteran leaders of this team. They go behind the net. Oh, I tried to have the man cutting to the goal, Tadeo, and they missed the target. Tadeo just couldn't pull it in. And it sails all the way back to midfield, and it'll be Bucknell ball. Not a bad possession, though, for RMU, and Bucknell turns it over again. And Bucknell now with the turnover bug, as they have come up empty on multiple possessions when they haven't even been able to get their offense set up. And RMU quickly on the attack. And freshly onto the field, they'll give it to Elliot Holden, who's got one in the game. Holden, a little stutter step, fakes the shot. Now he twists inside, shoots one, and it's blocked aside. It'll stay with RMU. And Starkey will enter the game. 11-11 game late in the third quarter. Under 3 minutes to go. Falling down, able to get back up again is Starkey. Holding up top with it now. Starkey, number 9. We'll send it behind the cage, and Robert Morris much more patient offensively too here in the second half. Tried to pass underneath, but 3 Bucknell players inside, and they'll intercept it. And a nice play by Travis Tallarico. And now Bucknell with another opportunity to regain the lead. Robert Morris has not led today, but they have battled back from trailing by as many as 4 multiple times in the game. Oh, and a good find and finish. And Bucknell back in front. Alston with the feed from behind the net to an open Connor Davis in front, and Davis back on the board for Bucknell. They stop a stretch of 3 straight RMU goals. Davis has his 4th of the afternoon. 10 goals on the season for Davis. The 6'4" freshman from Bethesda, Maryland. Looks like Bucknell found a good one there. Oh, and a big hit to force the turnover, as Columbus was crushed on the near sideline. And that'll fire up that Bucknell bench. All day long we've been saying Bucknell has had an answer for everything. Robert Morris puts a nice stretch together to tie this game here in the third quarter. But now Bucknell back in front by 1. Boudreau working defensively up high. RMU defending way out. Now Bucknell showing the patience. Jack Dudas with the ball. Now he moves inside. Will carry it behind the net. Three seconds on the shot clock. Oh, and with 1 second left on the shot clock, the score from way up high, and Bucknell is back up by 2. And then the Bison again. And look at the move. The shot, just as the clock ticks down to 1. And Blake Burchell makes it 13-11. Back-to-back goals for Bucknell. That comes with just 8 seconds left in the quarter. Right after RMU ties it. Oh, it's actually Dutch Furlong who got the goal. So Dutch Furlong with his first goal since the very first goal of the game. So he's got 2 tonight. And we have reached the end of the third quarter, and Bucknell with a 2-goal lead. It's the Bison 13, Robert Morris 11. Back to the Joe in just a moment. Joe Walton Stadium here on the campus of Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh, and we begin the fourth quarter. And Robert Morris trailing Bucknell 13-11. And the Bison will take the opening faceoff of the fourth quarter. And Bucknell scoring the last 2 in this game right after RMU had fought back to tie. Colonials open the game, falling behind by 3. Bucknell with a 3-0 lead early. RMU fighting back all game long got it to 1 a couple of times, and Bucknell would open it back up again. And then RMU with a really good third quarter until the last couple of minutes. Tied the game. Robert Morris had outscored Bucknell 4-1 in the third quarter before Bucknell picking up 2 late to open up this 2-goal lead. And Robert Morris forces the turnover, and here they come. This has been a good game so far, but RMU has just had to fight back throughout since that opening 3-goal lead for Bucknell. But a good competitive game here at the Joe. They tried to get it inside. It was intercepted momentarily, but Keeley's able to come away with it. And Keeley looks for an opening, doesn't force it, and then it's given up for the shot on the score. And RMU back on the board. It's Taggart Clark with another, number 41. Taggart Clark makes it 13-12. Well, you got another look at it. Taggart Clark is such a good shot. The senior from Ontario out of Everest Academy. He's had a big day. And a shot the other way, and it misses the net. Bucknell tried to get one quickly. It was Connor Davis looking for another one. A turnover behind in the end zone, and Robert Morris is going to scoop it up and head the other way. Here come the Colonials, down by 1, another chance to tie. Crowd is really into this one, so are both benches. Cold day in Pittsburgh, but a great game here in the home opener in the 2022 season. Non-conference action between Robert Morris and Bucknell. Passed around, and the ball is dropped by Keeley and scooped up by Bucknell. There to get it was Tallarico, and an empty possession for RMU. Bucknell hanging on by the hair, their chin straps. With 12:50 to go in the fourth quarter. It's such hard work fighting from behind all game long. That's what Robert Morris has been tasked with. Can they find a way over the hump here late? Got to get a stop here. Underneath an opening, and the shot goes wide. Missing was Furlong. And they give the ball to Bucknell. The crowd didn't like that call. The Bison. You hear the wind whipping through our crowd mic as that picks up on the field. Oh, and the shot underneath misses. They had the man open in the slot. And that was the guy they want to have that ball, Connor Davis, but he misses the cage, stays with Bucknell. Defense converges, though, and there's a chop slash that's going to be flagged. And Robert Morris took the ball, but it's not going to matter. It's going to be Bucknell ball on the penalty. The Colonials are going to be down a man. Bucknell will have the possession, man up, leading by 1. Off the field for RMU is James Christophoratos, senior from Pickering, Ontario, the midfielder. And 2 Colonials off. Oh man, so you got 2 penalties now. Josh Schreibeis is also off. So Schreibeis and Christophoratos. So a 6-on-4 for Bucknell, leading by 1 with 11 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Golden opportunity for the Bison here, as they get their offense cycling. Oh, what a save. Davis was alone in front, and perhaps the save of the game for Randall. Huge save coming with RMU down 2 men. And the Colonials turn it over. Oh, but it's given back to RMU. My goodness, you're thinking, do not turn it over. Down 2 men, you just want to eat up a little clock. But the ball was awarded back to Robert Morris. That's the last thing you want to do, down 2 men in a tight game. Just throw an errant pass and give the ball back to the opposition. And play is stopped. And the officials want to figure something out here. Robert Morris down 1. But they're going to have the ball. And they put it in play as the clock starts again. Full shot clock. It may have been what they were discussing. Back onto the field comes Taggart Clark, and the penalties are over. And Robert Morris back to full strength. What a sequence. Circle that if the Colonials find a way to win this one. Bucknell up 2 men and a huge save for the goaltender Nate Randall. And RMU able to kill off the rest of that penalty. And a loose ball here on the turf, and who's going to come away with it? RMU does. They throw it away. Wait, it's whistled, and it's going to be given back to Bucknell. A timeout on the field. So a timeout on the field. I think it's going to stay with RMU. RMU trailing 13-12, 10:21 to go in the game. Back to the Joe in just a minute. Robert Morris timeout. They have 1 left. Bucknell's got 2. 10 minutes and 21 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. And Robert Morris with the ball. Down 1. And it's back in play. Let's see what they do out of the timeout here. Move inside, and the low shot just as he was hit. And it forces the shot wide. Good hit by Striano. But still RMU ball, stepping out in front, shooting one wide. Stays with our Robert Morris. And the pass is dropped, though, and the Colonials turn it over. Keeley couldn't pull it in, and Bucknell takes over. Possessions become so big here in the 4th quarter in a close game. underneath and trying to get the quick shot off, but it goes straight up high into the air and bounced down harmlessly. That was Furlong who got inside but couldn't get the clean shot off. Never really seemed to have good possession of it. And Robert Morris takes over. And slipping and falling and losing the ball completely was Helmich. And now he comes back to make a play on the near sideline and forces the turnover. So way to stay with it. And Helmich just stayed with the play. And now well, wait a second. Now they go the other way. And now it's going to be a timeout. It's going to be Bucknell ball, looks like. And we'll keep it right here as they try to sort this one out. And getting the explanation right now is RMU head coach Craig McDonald. Doesn't like the explanation, but Bucknell will use the timeout. It looked like they signaled first that it was going to be Robert Morris ball, and then the other referee came in and said no, and then Bucknell timeout. And so it looks like it's going to be Bucknell ball. Leading by 1 with 8 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And again, this is a game that Robert Morris fell behind 3-0 early. Colonials did not get on the board for the first 10 minutes and 1 second of the game. And from that point on, they have been trying to fight their way back. Finally tied the game here in the third quarter. It was 6-3 Bucknell at the end of 1. Robert Morris trailed at the half. By a score of 10-7. But the Colonials came out on fire in the third quarter and tied it up at 11. But now Bucknell up 13-12 with 8:48 to go in regulation time. These teams played a great one a year ago with Robert Morris winning 8-7 in a low-scoring tight game. We got a 1-goal game here this year. That one got a piece of the goaltender and the post, and Robert Morris regains possession, and here they come with speed. Shot and a save made on the other side. Nolan with a big save. Ball goes back to RMU, though, as they find the rebound. Nolan keeps Bucknell in front, but RMU holds on to possession. Boudreau moves in and then shoots, but goes over the crossbar with 2 defenders on him. Keeley will put it in play behind the net. He evades a defender, freshly on, and hangs on to it, does Leary. Now Leary heads off. Johansson comes on, number 33. Johansson with the ball. Finds some room inside, takes the shot, and it's stopped, and a save made again. Bouncing puck in front of the crease. Everybody fighting for that loose ball. Still digging for it. Colonials come up with it, and the quick alert shot by Boudreau ties the game. Now wait, they say no. No goal, and it's going to be Bucknell ball. Boudreau and everybody in the stadium thought he had just tied the game, but it's Bucknell ball as the officials sent it the other way. Well, he came out of that scrum and alertly just fired it into the net, we thought. And Bucknell ball, they still lead it by 1. Man. A wild fourth quarter here in Pittsburgh. It's been a wild game. Colonials have really slowed this Bucknell offense, though, in the second half. And there comes the bounce shot and a save made, and it's smothered. Randall with another save. this time on Cam Doolin. They were beating him high and from outside in the first half, but it's been a lot tougher in the second half for the Bison. Bucknell has been held to just 3 goals in the second half after scoring 10 in the first. RMU with the ball as we cross the 6-minute mark. Starkey, near side now up top. And Holden looks for a little space. Instead gives it back up top. Starkey drops it off. Boudreau. Starkey's shot goes high. Robert Morris ball. Things are getting tense here at the Joe. Trying to fight his way in front as Keeley gives it up on the shot, and no goal. It stays out again. Now Bucknell upfield with it. Bucknell just a hair in front of Robert Morris all afternoon. Colonials have not led in this entire game, but they are right there, just one back of the visiting Bison. Bison, well defended right now, looking for an opening, and finally the shot comes, but it misses wide. Good defense by the Colonials as Furlong finally just got impatient and let one go. And the shot clock was down to 1, so it's launched into the air, and a big defensive possession for RMU. And now, under 4 minutes to go, Robert Morris down 1. And you got to find a way to convert on possessions here. Here come the Colonials. Boudreau gives it up right side. Colonials move in. The shot and a save made again for Max Nolan. And every save is gigantic now on both ends. And Nolan's got the ball, and he puts it in play for Bucknell. And again, the Colonials looking to score quickly in transition. And the bounce shot gets through, and Bucknell back up by 2. It's Richie Striano, and the Bison are fired up again. And so are the Bucknell faithful who made the trip. 14-12, and now it's some trouble are the Colonials with just 3:19 to go. A home opener for Robert Morris here in 2022. And you're in a spot now where you cannot surrender another goal if you're Robert Morris. Face-off awarded to RMU. They needed that. That's the first step. Colonials down 14-12. 3 minutes on the game clock. With the ball is Jake Boudreau. Boudreau for Lidstone. That gives it to Johansson, number 33. cycling it around. I'd like to see him get a shot, and he does, but it's blocked up high. That was Clark. Shot it, but it never got near the cage. 2:24 and counting. 30 on the shot clock. Lidstone tries to feather one to a teammate behind the net, and it looked like it was deflected away, but it's going to go to Bucknell, and now Colonial's in a lot of trouble. Down by 2 with 2 minutes to go. A launch pass deep into Robert Morris territory. Bucknell's got the ball, and a 2-goal lead. And they could wind this shot clock all the way down to under a minute to go. Robert Morris is going to have to pressure. Doolin with the ball. Now Welford being chased. Still 33 on the shot clock, 1:22 in the game. Losing his footing, dropping the ball. Now a flag on the field. And Bucknell with the ball, and a flag down on the field. Still 13 on the shot clock and a minute to go in the game. And it's a miracle time for Robert Morris, as Bucknell is eating up the clock right now. And the shot clock runs out. But now just 47 seconds left in the game. Penalty against the Colonials, as Owen Down is in the box. And now we're going to get a timeout. Bucknell is going to use a timeout here. They lead it 14-12. Colonials down to their last 47 seconds. Back with the conclusion in just a moment. RMU trailing by 2. Final moments of this one, 47 seconds to go. Colonials have a man in the box. Bucknell, man up. With time running down and a 2-goal lead and possession. Bucknell with the ball. Colonials chasing with the clock running down. 40 seconds and counting. And Bucknell can just run out the entire clock if they can keep it away from RMU. Running away from everyone is Striano. Gives it up now behind the cage. Clock down to 27 seconds. And Bucknell will throw it away on the near sideline. They do throw it away, but just 20 seconds left, so Colonials have to hurry. And they'll throw it ahead. RMU down 2. 15 seconds to go. Got to get as quick a shot as you can. 10 seconds left. Twisting away is Keeley. He'll go underneath. He'll pass it, and it's intercepted. And it's Bucknell ball, and they'll just throw it the other way. And the Bison are going to hang on as there's some activity after the horn. That'll be separated, and a frustrated Colonial team who tried to fight back all game long. They got it tied, but just could not get the go-ahead goal. And RMU will fall in this one as they drop the home opener to Bucknell 14-12. And a frustrated afternoon for the Colonials that, they fell behind 3-0 early and just could not get the lead back. And credit Bucknell. They played a heck of a game here on the road. And Robert Morris, despite not clicking in all facets, were right there until the very end. Saw some good things from the freshman goaltender Nate Randall. And the Colonials played a much different second half. After giving up 10 Bucknell goals in the first half, they held Bucknell to just 4 in half number 2. But they will fall to 0-2 on the season, will the Colonials. And they will next play on Saturday against Stony Brook. And in about 28 minutes, the Robert Morris women will open up their 2022 part of the season, as they will be at Ohio State facing the Buckeyes. And then they will be home next weekend, and we will have that action for you too. Garrow Von Dane will have most of the we'll have all the home games for you, both men's and women's. And I'll be here with you for most of those games when there aren't scheduling conflicts. Robert Morris will fall in this one by a final score of 14-12 to the Bucknell Bison. Garrow Von Dane saying so long from Joe Walton Stadium on the campus of Robert Morris University in Pittsburgh. The 2022 season underway. Robert Morris falls to Bucknell by a final score of 14-12. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. We'll see you next weekend for more Robert Morris lacrosse. This has been Men's Lacrosse here on the RMU Sports Network.